Tall Paul Joseph, I don't know who books the guests for the Producers Podcast with you, me, Jack Silver, but today we have whoever it is, they deserve a raise.
Yeah. Well, you know the enormous budget of this show and our staff. So
certainly,
it was you or me. It was probably me since it's my daughter. So
it seems like an easier get.
Yeah.
When it's your kid.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But your dad asking you to do anything? I don't know. You know, it's been kind of iffy, but she was very happy to come on.
Well, luckily we've got Haylee Joe,
yep,
the up and coming artist. And like I've said, we want to get these artists on the way up.
Yep.
So they forget us on the way down, but
they are sure to spit on us on the way down.
Which is fine, because we would already have milked them for all of their attributes and their successes. Right. Oh,
and there she is.
For example.
A bright Christmas star.
Look at that.
It's Haylee Joe. How are you, sweetie?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good. I was just telling Jack and everyone that apologize for my appearance because we've been up very early in the morning. Haylee is going to tell you the story of what happened with her brand new song, Dear Santa. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to preference it all by saying, of course, Haylee did this in her bedroom during COVID. She wrote 2 full EPs. One, Nightmare, which is for Halloween, and it was amazing. And in fact, In Love with the Devil, one of the songs from that, was just debuted and added at Mix 101.9 in Chicago, the #1 station in Chicago. Jack, you might know about that.
Well, I grew up in Chicago. In Chicago, and that's an amazing station. And for you to have a song on there,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. But how does it feel? And I think I saw you actually listening as they were playing your song. Do tell.
Well, start from this morning and say what happened and the whole thing.
Sorry, your dad didn't send me the show rundown, so I'm not exactly sure.
That's right.
Tell me what happened this morning.
Okay, so basically we woke up at a brisk 4:30 in the morning, which is a perfect time to wake up. The birds are out, beautiful day. So we woke up and I got ready, put some earmuffs on. We drove to a place that had great service. And we put on Coast 103.5, no less. And the queen of radio herself, Ellen Kay, announced my song, did a beautiful intro for Dear Santa, and actually played it on the radio. And we listened to it, and it was just about the craziest experience of my whole life.
And we've captured that on film. Maybe we can even add a little of that in here and show you what happened when she heard her song. Amazing experience. Any artist that ever listens to their song on the radio for the first time goes off the wall, and she certainly did.
Coast 103.5 with the Ellen K Morning Show. And cool. Yeah. Well, when I worked with Rick Dees, our producer Paul Joseph has a beautiful daughter named Haylee, and I just think of Haylee in her little princess dresses, and as a little girl. Well, little girls are all grown up, and little girl can sing. So, Paul, I love you and I miss you, and he sent me her song, and I listened to it. I'm like, wait, how can Haylee be a woman now? I mean, she's always been, dancer, singer, beautiful model, but now it's just kind of blowing my mind. And this is Haylee, and her song is Dear Santa. Dear Santa, this year's been a little different. Haven't seen my friends or even shopped for presents, but that's not the reason that I'm writing to you. I don't want a necklace or a shiny shoe.
I think you're talking about this little ditty.
That's the one, Dear Santa.
Yeah,
you know the one.
Well, what we have to do now is bring the entire listening and viewing audience up to speed. So let's play a clip.
Yeah.
Of Dear Santa from Haylee Joe, up and coming superstar.
Mistletoe, Santa this year is just not the same, with Christmas music playing in your jolly sleigh. All the stockings hung and presents under the tree, but he's the only gift that I wanted to receive this Christmas. This Christmas. All the stockings hung and presents under the tree, but Santa, all I wanted was him next to me this Christmas. This Christmas.
That is the best Christmas song ever, Haylee Joe.
Do you really like it, Jack?
No, I really do. I think it's very well. It's all of your stuff is poppy. I'm a pop artist. You know, I like the pop stuff. When I'm not, hold on. When I'm not dropping my microphone. When I'm not listening to Scorpions or AC/DC or heavier stuff, I enjoy the pop music, and it's got a great hook.
Thank you.
And I can understand why people are wanting to play it, especially because there's so many great Christmas songs, but we need some fresh blood.
Yeah, and what's good about this is it's a great Christmas song, all upbeat, but it tells a story about this Christmas, what's going on this Christmas. And if you listen to the lyrics of it, it's all about how we're handling this Christmas with, she's not mentioning COVID, obviously, but she's talking about that whole story, aren't you? Wasn't that where you got the idea?
Yeah, I wanted it to feel like a happy traditional Christmas song, but still relevant to this year and what people may or may not be experiencing this holiday season, because it's a little bit different than the rest. So the first line is Santa, this year's a little different, because it is.
Huh.
Yeah. And I think that's what resonating with so many of these people, and they're really enjoying the fact that it fits right into the Christmas realm. It sounds Christmassy. It is a Christmas song, but yet it does tell the story about what we're all kind of going through this year.
And again, Haylee, the video portion, we've talked about this once before with the great stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
Who is doing your hair and makeup and costumes? And I mean,
I do it.
Paul is doing all that stuff.
I take a big interest in hair, makeup, and fashion on the side of music. So I style and do myself for those videos and make myself up how I want to be looking. For the photo, I had my hair and makeup done, but for all the videos, I dress and do everything myself because I think it's fun.
Let me tell you something. If you go to, what is it, TikTok at Haylee Joe?
Yeah.
You will see her doing makeup tutorials. And she has a big audience that watches her put on her makeup for all her different things. It's quite interesting. I've gotten some great eyeliner tips out of it.
I was going to say, I could use some of that to take care of these crow's feet.
Some shadowing and different things.
I got you, Jack. Don't worry.
Well, now think about it. So in the same week, if I'm following along, and then tell us about the Chicago thing, because you've got a song playing on Mix 101.9 in Chicago, like the #1 station. Yeah. I think they have a huge morning show that's been there for over 20 years.
Yeah, Eric in the Morning or something.
Eric in the Morning. It used to be Eric and Kathy. Kathy's no longer with the firm. But who cares?
It's radio.
It's radio. But it's a very popular station. So how did that feel? Because that wasn't your Christmas song. That was one of your other hits.
That was amazing and so surprising. I didn't get to listen to that one in the car because I obviously, don't live in Chicago, but I streamed it right here in my bed. I was on FaceTime with my producer. The family was here, and another beautiful introduction by the host, Dash. He was so nice, and he played the song, and it was crazy. That was the first time I'd ever heard a song of mine on the radio, and that was on Wednesday. So today's Friday.
You are
rolling. But that was, you took that video of her listening to that, the mix experience, and you put it out, right? And how many people have viewed that so far?
I think it's working towards 300,000 people have seen my video of my video.
300,000 people have already seen that video.
Yeah, which is amazing because it's, I'm getting a bunch of comments being like, oh, I just discovered your music, or I heard it on the radio last night and immediately downloaded it. Like, it's instant feedback and response, which I've never, experienced before. Yeah. So that's crazy. And the people at Mix 101 are so nice, and I've been in contact with them, and they're so happy to play the music, which makes me feel great. And they're just a really nice radio station.
Well, here's all I know. Your dad or Tall Paul Joseph, either one, is actually one of the same. He's already working on getting you on the Jingle Ball, the Wango Tango. I mean,
I have a full list here that I've got going. I won't go over it now with you, but she's going to be on the cover of this before you know it.
No moss grows under his feet, Haylee Joe. Well,
he's been working very hard.
Well, listen, you are absolutely amazing. And again, we were just happy for your success and keep going. I mean, what else is up? I mean, are we going after other stations, Paul? Are we doing some TV?
We're in the works of going after other stations, talking to a lot of stations about it and getting it out there. Like I said, she did 2 EPs, one called Nightmare, which is Halloween, and that In Love with the Devil is from that, and that's what's on Mix.
Yeah.
And then Dear Santa, right, Haylee, is from your Christmas. What's the name of your Christmas EP? And tell us about the other songs quickly.
Okay, well, this is the exclusive because I haven't announced this yet, nor am I announcing it for a little bit. But if you're familiar with Tim Burton, The Nightmare Before Christmas is a movie. So I completed Nightmare and decided that I wanted to create a Christmas half of it. And so the completed project is called The Nightmare Before Christmas. So the Christmas EP is titled Before Christmas. And there's 6 songs on there. 5 are original. And then I'm doing 1 song that's a Christmas song that's never been covered as a duet. And I made it into a duet, which I'm really excited about. So I love the songs just as much as I love all the songs on Nightmare. And I feel like now it's complete.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So that's coming out soon, the rest of it?
Soon, hopefully in 7 to 10 days.
Okay. And Dear Santa is already out, and that's the one that we're working on right now.
Yes.
So we got all that to come. And then she tells me up in her bedroom here, she's been writing a whole bunch of other songs for the first of the year.
Well, you are prolific, to say the least. and the only other thing I'll say, the apple fell pretty far from the tree, Paul.
Yeah.
As talented as you are,
yeah.
This woman at 22 is already beating the crap out of you in the success department. So,
and as a father, I celebrate that.
Of course. We all want our kids to do well.
Yeah, exactly. So more power to her.
All right, Haylee Joe. Well, let me flash this thing one more time.
Cool.
That's
there
Santa,
it is.
Haylee Joe, listen for it. What do they got to do to find it? They all the different social platforms.
Yeah, it's on all streaming platforms. So you just look up Haylee Joe, Dear Santa, and it'll pop right up.
And how do we follow you on Instagram and all that?
My Instagram's at Haylee Joe. My TikTok's at Haylee Joe. My Facebook is at Haylee Joe Music. It's all pretty self-explanatory.
And that's Haylee
Joe. Yes.
Understood.
Okay,
Well, all right. Well, listen, you just keep it going because, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes, basically.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I'm on it. Don't you worry, Jack.
We're counting on your financial success as we get into our later years.
Me too.
All right.
Thanks for coming on. Make me lunch.
Okay, will do. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, Paul?
She's a little dynamo, right?
That is one talented young person, and you should be so proud of her. But you're right. That's a dynamo. I mean, personally, you have to be driven to do anything in life. But she seems to be totally motivated. And if she's churning out that many songs.
Well, that's the thing that impresses me because, listen, I've been around writers all my life and I've written a lot of stuff, but she sits up there and she jots out these tunes, and I always harken back because I think of, not that I'm putting her in the same category, but I think of Paul McCartney saying he sits at his desk and he's got yesterday written on a napkin he wrote in the restaurant and things like that.
Right.
And she that's what she does. She gets these ideas and they just come to her and she writes full songs out in a minute. And one thing we didn't mention with her is she was recently, a couple of artists got a hold of her that are pretty well-known artists that listened to her just on the internet.
Yeah.
And they asked her to write a lyric for their song and actually sing it in their song.
Well, Uncle Jack wants to say, we'll do that. Roll the Brinks truck up to the Joseph house.
Yeah, bring it this way.
Yeah, bring it this way.
I'm real good with that.
We only take cash from those people.
Only. Yeah. Wait, no, there's no credit in the handshake. It's all cash.
Yeah, cash on the barrelhead, my friend. Mm-hmm. Well, just a quick transition.
Yes. Introducing the mascot of 2020.
Well, it's 2020. We have a new mascot. We just need a name.
I think it looks like a Hoover vacuum cleaner that exploded.
I love this. I love this meme. And if that's why it's so great to see Haylee doing great things. And, because this year has been a crap show, to be honest. So I thought this was a funny meme.
That's very funny.
I like that one.
That's how we feel.
Of course, we always have to, actually this one, now, Tall Paul, do you mind if I get a little racy now that your daughter's off the screen?
Yeah, she's cleared. Go ahead. What
Okay.
were you going to say?
Friends of mine, Lamont and Tonelli, really good radio guys from San Francisco. Their show hasn't really kept up with the human resources issues anymore.
I don't think they really follow closely. I'm familiar with them, so yeah.
So they always post great stuff, and this one really caught my eye. I thought it was funny. Basically, it was like, if you're looking for a his and her Christmas gift this year, maybe recommend the Titan.
Yeah.
Right.
This really isn't 2020 material, but
You know, it is. It's light and breezy. So in
It's
other
light
words,
and breezy.
if you want something nice for your wife, you get her a nice, thing to cover the breasts, and then you slide your hands right in there to stay nice.
as
and
a
cozy.
hand warmer type.
Right.
Yeah.
And the name.
And I'm praying and hoping that that's an extra layer there. Yeah, I see there's material between the skin and
Right.
the actual.
But
where
look,
the hand-
hopefully that's your significant other. And I thought the name was cute, the Titan.
the Titan.
Which is very good. And then the last thing we'll do, because we have to start the show continue the show properly.
Yes.
Everyone loves the CNN lady, Paul.
Well, that's our opening, because that's always when your producer's not giving you what you need, and it's 3, 2, 1, you're on, and that look.
And that's the look you get.
That's the look right there.
All right.
So we always look at that before we start the show, because that reminds us to have all our props ready and do it the right way.
Which we never do, but you know,
No.
somehow this show is really catching on, and it is season 2, episode 10.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping track, and it's
glad
not the season finale. I thought we might wrap it up before the holidays, but
Oh,
the fan of the show wants
Yeah.
us to continue. So
well, let's do it.
well, let's do that now.
Yeah.
Quick topic:
Yes.
the holidays and the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bring us down. We're on an upswing. But are you going to be able to spend some time with your family and friends the way you normally do? Or are you going to heed some of the warnings for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's that they're the warnings they're putting out?
Well, you know, actually, it's funny because we were talking about that this morning. What we're going to do, because my mom lives 15 houses from us.
Yeah.
And my sister now lives with my mom. Sold her house, moved in. So my sister's going to do an outside, bring your own table type deal set up where everyone sits at their own table. And we're going to do it that way. And it's just a small group. It's not a big group of people. And everybody's been in a bubble, like our family has, my mom and sister have, and my nephews and all that have. So it's going to be individual tables. We're not going to intermingle tables, but we are going to be able to talk to each other outside. This is outside in the backyard. So that's kind of how we're doing it.
I think that makes sense. I have a little bit of a problem because my sons want to be with my ex-wife on Thanksgiving.
As do you.
Well, no, I yeah, that one's not true. But no, so they're going to go do that. And even though, you know, everyone's kind of saying you probably shouldn't intermingle kids, parents, grandparents, because it mushes the COVID all around.
Right.
And then the next day we were going to have a little pizza party. I ordered some Chicago deep dish pizzas.
Oh, from that great place you told
from
me
Lou
about.
Malnati's, which is a famous place from Chicago.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to do that on Friday, but we've kind of agreed that maybe we'll do a Zoom call. I'll drop the pizzas off to the kids and they can make it separate. I just, you know, Paul, I don't know if you can be too cautious right now.
I mean, I tell you, you really can't. It's scary. You know, I do think, I look at it kind of like the NBA. The NBA did an amazing job of putting everybody in the bubble.
Yeah.
You know, and so like with our family, the people that are getting together have been in the bubble. And so and since we're doing it outside at different tables, I feel really safe about that. But I think that's how you have to look at it right now. You know?
Well, and to that point, I was supposed to fly to Green Bay, Wisconsin for Christmas this year.
Oh, no can do.
But we definitely put the end to that because traveling on the planes look crazy. I don't want to do that. Plus, when you get there, everybody, that's their own bubble. In other words, I agree.
That's
that
right.
You can't take one bubble, drop it in another bubble, and go, okay, all good, no problem.
No.
COVID doesn't work on family members.
No. In most places I hear, maybe not in Green where are you
Bay.
going exactly? Wisconsin? What
Green
part?
Bay, Wisconsin.
Green Bay. But don't you have to isolate for a few days before you get into the general population?
You're supposed to, and then there, you know, everything's indoors. You know, we're lucky in California because you're talking about eating outside on Thanksgiving with your mom and sister and your family, you know, Green Bay at Thanksgiving or Christmas time, the last time I went for Christmas, the high for the week was 12 below.
Well, you could do it if you're Frosty the Snowman. That's
I'm not doing that. I mean, so we'll get there as soon as possible. But I feel for, and I think we all can agree that we feel for everyone not being able to be with their families, be with their friends. But you know, my plea would be just hang in there just a little while longer. I think we're getting close to the vaccines are coming out. You know, things are better. So if you can just hold out a little bit longer, so that's my plea. And hopefully people will heed some warning.
And the other part of that is I think it's really changed the business world. I mean, employers have realized, hey, we don't need offices. A lot of these companies don't. And they're not going back. They're going to have their employees work from home. They see that they can take care of business and save all that money. And maybe not right now, but down the line, I'm hoping that that'll help these companies make more money, be able to hire more people because you stay at home.
Yeah.
And it could turn out to be a good thing by 2020.
You know, I've been, my company is still, you know, we have some selected people coming back to the office, and it's a little freaky when you go in there because everyone's, you know, masked up, and between the masks, the gloves, the Lysol spray, you're doing the best you can. But it's the type of business, it's a radio station. So you got to be able to, you know, run the control board and do different things.
Sure.
But if you're just a salesperson, and I don't mean just, if you're a salesperson or you're a person who can work from home and get as much accomplished at your home office like this thing, then there's no reason to go back. And that's I think 2021 is going to show that, like you're talking about.
I think so. And aside, I mean, from a salesman standpoint, because you and I both did some sales along the way.
Yeah.
And aside from the individual beatings you take as a salesperson in the office, that's why they want you to there, so they can pound on you about
unmercifully, right? Just bam, sell.
Is, and what do you have for this week, and what do you have for next week? But they can do that on Zoom pretty well.
Sure, they can berate you. They can
calm downs. You know,
it's just as effective of a beatdown.
I think so.
Via the Zoom or in the office.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that works.
All right. And then to tie a bow around this edition of the Producers Podcast, Paul, as we get ready for the holidays and having Haylee Joe on talking about her song, Dear Santa, and everybody trying to get in the holiday spirit. We kind of touched on it once before, but I think the Christmas movies are doing a great job. And I got to hand it to this Hallmark channel. They've got their own series of movies. And actually, I didn't tell you about real quick. There was one that we watched last week. And the premise, you know, they always have these really good looking people in really great settings, really romantic settings. This was a radio show, a guy and a girl.
Oh.
And they did a morning show on a radio station. But they've been friends for, what is it?
Where'd they get that idea?
I don't know. You know, like other than every morning show there is a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
But they were friends for a long time. And they always had a little, you know, sexual tension going on, but they never really acted upon it.
Okay.
Long story longer, they go through the show and they end up getting together. Their families get together. They're under the mistletoe at the end.
Oh.
I got the waterworks. I got the tears going.
Really?
Well, you know, it was a radio thing. So I kind of, you know, said I can kind of relate to it.
And B, how many shots had you had by that time?
You know, a couple of tequila shots go a long way to make a guy tear up. All right. But the real movies out there. Okay. So say, for example, Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton.
Classic.
That's a classic. All right. That's a funny one.
Not for the kids. Not for the kids.
Not for the kids. No. But it's a favorite of a lot of people, and I would recommend that. As you're going up the ladder, Elf, and remember, it's Will Ferrell. We talked about him last time. I thought it was Bob Ferrell.
No, it's Will, and it's number one with a bullet, I think. That's the first. In fact, we haven't watched it yet, but the kids are talking about it now. We're going to watch it. We always watch that as a family, number one.
That's a cute one, and it's funny. And again, we're all looking for a little chance to have a few laughs.
Yeah.
A Christmas Carol, which is there's a bunch of different versions of it, but that's always a heart warmer.
Right.
You know, it's funny, Paul. I was having a discussion with someone yesterday about Die Hard. Now, Die Hard with Bruce Willis, is that a Christmas movie?
good question. It might be. I mean, it's definitely in the action adventure type mode of that.
And well, do you remember the plot? Because basically they're having a Christmas party
right
at the Nakatomi Tower or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in comes the bad guys, and then in comes Bruce Willis, but it's all centered around a Christmas party.
It really is. Yeah. So I guess in a sense it is a Christmas.
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Not warm and fuzzy.
No.
But a Christmas movie nonetheless.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas, which is, I think, the Tim Burton one.
That's Tim Burton. Yeah.
Which is a classic.
Classic.
White Christmas featuring Bing Crosby, which is good. And, some of my wife likes the old ones, the 50s and 60s, where it's really mass appeal and warm and fuzzy and songs, everyone's singing songs. So that's a good one. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I know there's the Grinch with Jim Carrey,
right.
But the original is kind of a cartoon of
right.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Right.
Miracle on 34th Street. You ever see that one?
I can't ever say I've watched that through the whole way, but obviously it's on every year. I've seen pieces of it. With Jimmy Stewart and all that?
No, I think Miracle on 34th Street has like an old guy who plays Santa. And I digress. I don't know the actual plot of the damn thing, but it's a very popular one. Yeah. If you see the cover of the DVD, you would understand what I'm talking about. Just two more. The Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Which is always a winner. People
Love
like that. And I think the number, according to the list that I looked at, I think it was like a Yahoo list or something.
You haven't mentioned the one in my head, aside from Elf, that we watch every year. I want to see if it's number one, because it should be up there.
Which was that?
I'll wait till you're done.
Well, the number one is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay.
With Jimmy Stewart.
That's Jimmy Stewart.
And that's a holiday thing. And then, it's got, it's got a lot into it. Again, another one that I kind of zone out.
Yeah.
Because as the missus watches it for the 55th time.
I know.
But
Polar Express with Tom Hanks. Polar Express, classic movie. I mean, it's not that old. The kids, I showed it to them, started out when they were very young, and they watched it every year. But that, if you haven't seen Polar Express, it's the type of movie that your wife will love. Yeah. And it's just a great movie. It's about a kid that wakes up in a dream kind of thing, and he goes out and this big train pulls up right in front of his door. It's all dream type stuff. Sure. But it's kind of animated in a sense, but not. But Tom Hanks is the conductor. It's a great movie. I recommend it. Polar Express. Anything with Tom Hanks. I know that's kind of a cliche, but the guy doesn't make any mistakes. Yeah, no. I mean, he is terrific. All right, Tall Paul. Well, I am absolutely out of breath from talking to Haylee Joe about her new single, Dear Santa, and the great radio play that she's getting. Let's hope we got more to report. Yeah, we have the memes of the week. We can, just for you, I'll throw in our CNN lady for a little. There she go. Last minute breaking news. Give me it. Give me it. Give me it. No, I can't get to the desk fast enough, lady. Look at the look. Oh. All right. Well, listen, that's a good way to go. Let's get together again soon and do another podcast. We'll keep booking those great guests and make sure that the audience, talks about us. What do they have to do again? Okay. If you like this, we want you to like it, share it, and leave comments for it. Okay. Wherever you get your podcasts, please watch this and share it with people. But we do want your comments. So leave your comments. We'll read them on the air here and have some fun with it. Right. So because it's the holiday season, I'm not sure when you're going to be watching this, whether it's by Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's, but everyone have a great holiday season. And we'll be back next time with another edition of the Producers Podcast. Yes. He's tall Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. And pointing the wrong way. The pointing, Paul. When I watch it back, I'm always pointing the wrong way, bro. Right. Yeah. Out and Z. Have a good one.